Hello and welcome to the Startup Booster program. My name is Elena Varnavska. Let me just quickly go through the webinar rules with you. So first of all, please do not talk on Google Hangouts simultaneously with the presenter. Just mute your microphone to avoid any interference. If you have any questions, please use the chat or Q&A function on Google Hangout. In addition, you can also post your comments on YouTube directly under this video broadcast, as well as on Facebook directly under the Webinar 5 event. Depending upon the topic and timeline of the webinar, we will answer your questions in the appropriate section of the webinar. Please do not write any personal data like links, ads, or obscenity in the chat. Should you violate these webinar rules, we will eject you from Google Hangout. These rules apply to all Startup Booster webinars. Thank you very much for your understanding. So, welcome to the 5th session of the Startup Booster program, and today we will talk about how to create a great business plan. Before we continue, please let me know if you can hear me well. Just put a plus sign in the comments field if the sound is good for you.
Hi, good evening everyone, Daria is here. So Elena, just to let you know, we hear you well and we see everything perfectly fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Daria. Thank you very much. So once again, my name is Elena Varnavska. I'm an expert in psychology of excellence. And together with my colleague Daria Gorina, whom you have just heard now, we have developed the Startup Booster program for you. Daria is an expert in marketing and sales. While I'll be presenting at the webinar, Daria will be moderating the session, and sometimes we'll just take turns. What you will learn in the whole Startup Booster program. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me just go quickly through the main points. So in the whole Startup Booster program, you will learn how to launch your business from scratch, how to market and sell your products and services, and how to build and manage an international company. We will cover both psychological and business aspects just to help you launch a successful business or bring your existing business to the next level. Our sessions are very interactive and we really encourage you to communicate with us. Please ask questions and participate in the exercises. Apart from using Q&A in Google Hangouts, you can also post your comments on YouTube and Facebook. So the first option is YouTube. Just use the comments field on YouTube directly under this video broadcast, and you can see the link here. Or post your comments on Facebook directly in the Webinar 5 event. And here is the link for you once again. For this session, you will need just a pen and about 5 sheets of white paper to write on. Now, let's get down to the practical part. For all of us entrepreneurs, it is really crucial to have a business plan. And a good plan is like a roadmap. It shows the final destination and usually the best way to get there. However, if you don't know where you're going, you will end up someplace else. So this is absolutely true. And therefore, today we will talk about creating a great business plan. And the very first step towards your great business plan is the ability to set smart goals. In order to do smart planning, it is really necessary to be familiar with how to set your goals in a smart way. So that's why I'd like to share with you this very essential and at the same time really simple strategy. As you can see, SMART goals denote specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And let me just give you a quick example. So, what do you think about this goal? I don't want to be even less successful in marketing than I am now. Just use your comments field to share your opinion about this goal. And later on, Daria will share your comments with us. So please let me know, what do you think about this goal? I don't want to be even less successful in marketing than I am now.
Hi, that is here. I have here a couple of comments already. So people are saying that it doesn't seem to be specific and not specific.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I did my best to postulate the very wrong goal for you in order to show you that sometimes we do not postulate our goals in a smart way. So this is not a smart objective because smart goals should be formulated in a positive way. So please use positive and motivating wording. Please write your SMART goals down. And it's also crucial to know that goals shouldn't be set too high in the beginning. Well, we are startup entrepreneurs and some of us are perfectionists and we would like to reach the highest points. However, if we set the goals too high, we will not reach them, and that's really demotivating. Just like this negative wording in this goal. The correct way would be, from now on, I will focus on my marketing objectives and will do at least one promotion of my product every week. This is an example of a SMART goal. Let's move on, and we will go through all these aspects of SMART goals one by one. Let's start with the specific. First of all, we should ask ourselves, what would you like to do? So what would I like to do? And then, after asking this question, please think about using the action words like organize, develop, and so on and so forth. The next question is, why is it important to finish it by this time? What would you like to reach by this goal? Then, how would you like to do this? For example, I would like to be wealthy. Well, that's not specific. It's not a SMART goal. And the correct way would be, I will sell 20 DVD sets with my sports program at the training every week. So this is specific. For example, you're a sports trainer and you would like to have an additional income and you would like to move to the side of the passive income. So you have developed a great DVD, and that's why you also set a SMART goal. I will sell 20 DVD sets with my sports program at the training every week. The next aspect of the SMART goal setting is measurable. If you can't measure a goal, actually you can't reach it. And if the goal is too big, it's really crucial to break it into sub-goals. For example, the goal like, I would like to become an expert in creating a business plan is not measurable. The correct way to postulate your goal would be, I will do market analysis and prepare this section of the business plan in a written form by March 20th, 2015. So that's really measurable. Let's move on. The next aspect of SMART goal setting is achievable. A goal shouldn't be too easy, but at the same time, it shouldn't be set too high. So you should be able to achieve it. And it shouldn't be too far away. For example, I will sell 20 DVD sets. I didn't say 100, right? With my sports program per week. Well, if you have a huge gym and if you're a famous trainer, of course it's possible to sell hundreds of DVDs. But if you're a startup entrepreneur, I would start with achievable goals. That's why I would put 20 DVD sets. Okay, let's move on. And the next aspect of SMART goal setting is realistic. So you should be realistic in your is situation, and from this is situation, you should know how to reach your should situation. For example, I will never procrastinate with my business plan again. Well, it doesn't really sound realistic. The correct way to postulate this goal would be, I will write one section of my business plan per week. So this is realistic. You can really make it. And finally, timely. Please always set a deadline for your SMART objectives. For example, I will finish writing the marketing and sales plan by April 4th, 2015. So I have walked you through the key aspects of the SMART goals, and you have really understood how simple and crucial they are. And now I would like to give the word to Daria, who will walk you through the process of creating a great business plan. And there you will see that you really need to know how to set SMART goals in order to create a great business plan.
Hi there. Before I start, I would like Elena to switch on the video for you, as she is already sharing the screen. If it's possible, please. I sent you the link to the Skype.
Okay, great. Just a second. Then let me switch on the Skype on this device. Yes, I think I've just received your link. So I have the video. Now I need some feedback from Daria. Is the screen big enough, or would you like me to make it even bigger?
No, that's fine.
That's
you can go ahead.
Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, great. I hope you have enjoyed the video.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think now, if you stop sharing the screen, I can share the screen.
Yes, exactly. I also liked the video. Quotations were really great. So let's move ahead.
Yeah, okay. Can you see my screen now?
Personally, I can see the screen at the moment. Let me wait for a couple of pluses from the people. So guys, please just put a plus in the comments field or whatever is comfortable for you, and let me know if you can see the screen. Yes, great. Thank you. I can see a couple of pluses, so we can proceed.
Okay, great. Welcome to the session of the business planning, and I would like to thank Elena for getting ahead and telling us how to make the SMART goals and how to create them and how to make them really achievable and realistic. And this is something purely applicable together in the combination with the session that we had last week on Business Canvas to the business planning. The business plan is the thing that is really important, and this is something that you need personally as an entrepreneur as well as you need as a business. So by planning, you can achieve lots of things, and let's have a look what is that. So first of all, you can see on my screen that what is a business plan. So business plan is a written statement. So it's in first place, it's a statement that describes and analyzes your business. So this is the statement that you state to yourself, that you state to the potential investors, that you state to the world, and describe what your business is and how it's going to operate. It analyzes the situation around your business, and it analyzes the situation in the market, and it analyzes how compatible your business to the market and how the market will welcome your business, basically. And it gives the details, projections about its future, covering the financial aspects. So it gives the projections on how you feel, you think, or what is your personal idea on how your business is going to work in the future based on the facts that you have in your hands, based on the experience, and based on the work that you've done around by creating the business plan. Can you please put the plus if you agree with the statement and minus if you don't agree with the statement? And I would like to, for those people who don't really agree with the statement as it is, to put the minus and say what they don't like about the statement. So basically, this is the statement that I think the best describes the business plan as it is. So this is the statement that you state, it's a description, it's analysis of your business, as well as its projection in the future. Do we have any answers, Elena?
Just wait for a second. I'm checking all the windows and refreshing them. Yes, we have several pluses, so I think the people agree with this statement, and so far I haven't seen a single minus.
Okay, that's fantastic. That sounds really, really great. Let's move ahead. So, why do we need the business plan? I have here the summary of the main points, why. And then I would like to discuss, obviously, with you as well. So why do we need a business plan? So first of all, it helps to get the money you need. It helps you personally because at the beginning you might have the rough estimations of how much money you need to set up your business. But also it gives you, after creating the whole business plan, more insight on how much money you may need right now, in the future, in the midterm, short term, and long term to get your business up and running, as well as how much money you need to ask for if you're looking for somebody to invest in your business. The business plan also helps to decide to proceed or stop with your business, because having an idea in your mind is a nice thing, and as you can imagine, and obviously it's something that drives you, your motivation. However, by start writing and analyzing your idea, putting it into business and trying to test it, it may say that, okay, I might not find the right customer base, I might not find the target audience, or my idea will be for not making money at all, if your goal is making money and not just putting the idea in place and making the efforts in vain. Or on the other hand, it might help you to say, oh, that's a perfect idea, so that's the proof to myself to go ahead, proceed with the idea, and do my best to execute it and put into play. What else is the business plan good for? It lets you improve upon your business concept. So at the beginning, you might have something in your head as a business concept before you start putting that into practice, or even before you start putting that on the piece of paper. But as soon as you start putting the information on the piece of paper, gathering and analyzing what you have and how you're going to start working, which channels of marketing and sales you're going to use, this is something that might create additional ideas around that and help you to improve your concept and even make it better. Business plan also helps to increase your odds to success, which is quite obvious. So it helps you to keep on track as well, because you might have the plan, and you should have the plan and the project there and the milestones of your project that will help you to basically keep aligned with what you're doing, see if you're meeting the deadlines that you set up for yourself, and see how realistic your deadlines are, and maybe something you calculated wrong, maybe something you calculated right. So you can kind of keep on track on how the things are going around. Because if you don't write that down, if you don't have something on the paper, it makes it a little bit more difficult for you to be in control of the things. And it's important at the beginning, at the initial stages, to be in control of the things. Business plan also helps to understand the target market and effectively respond to its needs. Why I put this point there? Because when you are thinking, okay, I have a great idea of doing this and this and this, and you roughly understand what your target market is, by creating the business plan, you go into detail and analyze the specifications of your target market. You analyze which way to approach it, and you put the actions that need to take place in order for you to effectively communicate your business idea to the target niche. Yeah, I put that point there, that the business plan is your first step to success in your business, because when you have an idea, it's very good. When you put the idea on paper in terms of what actions and steps you need to take in order to get the idea implemented, this is something that leads you to your first step of success. So as you remember, if you, for example, imagine something or use this goal setting technique, one of the first successes for you is is start doing something, and by doing something is the first step in your startup is writing the business plan on how you view your business and taking the steps to analyze it. Now I'll have a question to you guys. If you can put into the chat window, maybe you have any other ideas why we would need to write the business plan and why it's good. Just put in the chat on Facebook or on the YouTube or in the Google Plus if you have any other ideas why you think the business plan would be good.
Yeah, let's wait for about 20 seconds because it takes a while for me to check and actually to get your answers. So here is Elena again, and I can see one comment for the moment, and it is to calculate your budget realistically.
Yeah, thanks, Elena. That sounds nice, and I would say I'd probably agree with the points that I have here. Okay, in any ways, if you will be watching the replay of this webinar, we are welcoming your comments as well, and I think we can move ahead. Now, we're gonna have a more or less deep discussion about the business sections of the business plan, different sections of the business plan. You will obviously get a perfect handout from us on how to create the business plan, and you're always welcome with your questions. And if you need any assistance in creating your own business plan, we're already here and we're happy to help you with. So let's have a look, at least briefly, in the different sections of the business plan. So here we have the business plan as the core, and the first of the sections is the executive summary. So what I will do in this case, as I used to work in the investment industry, and I've seen lots of business plans personally, and this is something that I will probably use as the experience that I had there in order to provide you the best way to write the business plan, especially if you would be interested in getting some funds raised for your business plan. So the executive summary, basically the idea of the executive summary is to give an overview of your business and your plans. But normally recommended to write between 1 to 2 pages. So what I say to you is the shorter the better, because it should have the majority of the information there. It should have who you are, what is your company, what is the main products, and it should have the brief information on what is the target market, what is the mission of the company, what is your vision, how you're going to penetrate that market, and what approximately you're going to need, what are approximately your projections of sales and of the potential revenue for your business. So they should be really short, 1 page, my point of view, and not 2 pages. So the shorter you keep it, the better, because if it's not capturing the eyes of the potential investor, then it's more likely to turn to be in the bin rather to be on the table for the further reviewing. So this is one of the really essential and important parts of the business plan, so to say. And I would recommend you highly to, this is kind of summary of the project, really short, really brief, and this is something that needs to capture attention. Next point is the company overview. So in the company overview section, we normally provide a quick review of the company's legal structure. For example, if you have already somebody as the head of the company who is doing the marketing, who is doing sales, who is doing technical part, product management, etc., 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 depending on the business you have there, and also the location of the company, like physical address. If you have one, or the website, different social media that you're using, where you can, where a person can go and follow you and maybe get some information about your company, as well as the background of the company's history. If you are writing plan for the existing business, for example, or maybe the history about what kind of stages your startup went through and what is already done. So this part is devoted to understanding where you are currently, and if it's like a pure startup and you just bought a domain name, or if it's maybe something like already a startup that is existing for a couple of months, and here you can be proud to show at which stage you are. So this is also something that investors will be looking at, and it's more likely to, it should be likely to have some history there and things done, rather than having a pure idea and presenting just the pure idea to the people. So, and also here you can state the mission and a vision and value proposition of your company, why it's so good, and why it's better to deal with you. Would you have any questions at this stage? If so, can you please write them down? I'll give you just 20 seconds. Do you have any replies, Helena?
Hi there. So I don't see any replies at the moment, but I'll come back to you later on if I see any, okay?
Okay, so then we'll do this way. While I will be talking, if there will be something, you just can interrupt me on the way, okay?
Okay, great.
Good, so we'll go ahead. The next section of the business plan is the product and services section. Why I say product and services? Because in some cases it's services, in some cases it's just product or products or a set of products, and in some cases it could be both. So it depends on what you're offering to the market, what you're dealing with, and what you're gonna convert into money or monetize. So in the product and services section, you are actually selling on how you are solving the problem or need, or maybe you're offering something new to the market, or maybe you are trying to do something different that is already done. So here you are describing fully the value proposition or elevator pitch for your products and services. You go into detail what is it consisting of, how it could be done. You can put some pictures there if you have the pictures of that. If you have some references, you can put some references there, or hint on references which you can put in the last section of the business plan, which will come to the end. Yeah, so here you need to have the full description of what is going on there. The next one would be target market. So in the target market, you are describing who you are selling to. What are the multiple segments for your business? If there is any details of those segments, who are those people? Basically, you need to have the full analysis on who you're going to sell it to. So why these people are going to buy your product? Who would be the ideal customer? The age, the gender, the location, the needs, the fears, the wants, and etc. So in terms of finding out about your ideal customers and right communication to them, we'll come back in more detail to these points later on in our webinars, in the sales webinar. But at this point of time, for you, it's important to understand and imagine your ideal customer and basically describe this ideal customer, as well as showing the results, if it's possible to do the analysis of the market, how many of those ideal customers existing and what is the potential of these ideal customers in terms of buying your products. The next is the market analysis. So market analysis is very much connected to the target market or your ideal customers. In the market analysis, you need to do different types of analysis, like for example, if you know the SWOT analysis, where you describe the strengths, the opportunities, the weakness, and the threats, where you analyze the competitors. You need to give the full description of your main, like obviously for several businesses, there might be no competitors if it's extremely new product. There might be several competitors, so you need to take the most prominent in the industry and give the description of why you are better with these competitors. So the best tables and comparisons I've seen were basically if the company was describing like, okay, we're not the only one on the market. Here are our 2-3 main competitors. This is what we have in common. And this is what we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points as much as you have in comparing with other players on the market in this niche, and we have them and they don't have them. So the more, let us say, schematic description of what you have and the others don't have is really helpful. As well, you can do here, if you go into more depth in the market analysis and the whole environmental analysis, you can do the pestle analysis, where you can analyze different factors like political, economic, social, technological, and natural and legal. So it all depends on on what kind of a product or service or both you're offering to the market. So, but you need to ask yourself the main questions here, and be sure that this is the answers for those questions will be the main target for the people who will be reading your business plan. So who are the other players in the market, how strong they are comparing to you, how your product is strong comparing to theirs, what are you doing differently that they are not having, why you're trying to reach out and start something that is already existing on the market. The next point is the marketing and sales plan. Marketing and sales plan is basically can be formalized like this. How are you going to reach your target market? What are the marketing and sales tactics are you going to be used? And what is your action plan? How are you going to do that? And here comes the SMART ideas. If you remember, Elena was saying like, I will, for example, reach my target market by sending on the social media 5 posts a day about my product and services for the next 10 weeks. So that will be measurable SMART goal for the and reachable for your marketing action plan. So you need here to clearly state what you're gonna do in terms of strategy of market penetration. You need to clearly state how you're gonna do that, what actions needs to be taken, and the best if you do that in the short-term, mid-term, and long-term perspective. So it could be seen what actions you plan to take, and if you have already done something, you can state which actions you have taken already and what are the results of those actions. And important here, you need to specify what kind of campaigns are more prominent, like online, offline, maybe it's a mix of campaigns, and why as well. And important here to have the actions step by step. So if you're gonna provide social media spread of the word, how you're gonna do that? Number one, sending the post on these and these and these social medias. You have those and those accounts. Why you're gonna do that? Because according to the analysis or according to the competitor analysis, those and those tactics are working. So think on that. This is one of the most important money conversion part of your business here. And the milestones and metrics is one of the important sections, because here, if you have accomplished some key milestones in the project, in building your business, you need to detail them here. So you need to detail here because here you say, this is the way you are going to measure your success. So if you put some SMART goal, here in this section you say, if I reach this goal, these and these and these and these, number one, number two, number three would be the outcomes of me reaching my goal. This is the milestones and metrics. So how you gonna measure your sales team in saying that they have achieved the goal? How you gonna measure the marketing campaigns? How you gonna measure the successful sales? How you gonna measure the actions of your management team? Everything regarding metrics and the success measurement should be stated here. Now I come into the measurement team. So this point is where investors look for great teams in addition to great ideas. So your idea may be fantastic, but if they see that the CVs of the team that are going to measure these ideas are not strong enough, or the experience they have is irrelevant to the subject matter of the whole business, you might have a bit of concern here. And this is something you need to look into and make sure that you have the strong team to be able to manage the project. So you describe the current team, and if you see that there is a gap within your current team in terms of being a successful team to implement this project from the investor point of view, not from your point of view in that matter, then you need to state here who you plan to hire and why you plan to hire and which gaps those people are gonna cover basically in your team if they will be existing. Now, one of the most prominent parts of the business plan is the financial plan. So here, your business plan will not be complete unless you give the financial forecast of the cash flows, of the investment needed, how the investment is going to be used, how you plan to spend the money of the organization in terms of team hiring, how you're going to handle the assets, how you're going to divide the equities, and what will be your sales projections, what will be your budget for the marketing, etc. So here you basically state the main ideas of the finances, how they're gonna come, where they're gonna come from, in which amounts, and how you're gonna spend. And if you're, especially if you're asking for the money, you need to state clearly here how much money you need and where this money is gonna be spent, and why, which is also important. And the wise spend of the money is one of the points that the investors are looking at. And the appendix. So this is one of the parts where you can put the references, where you can put the graphs, where you can put the project management tables. So the things that you can refer to in the whole business plan, but you don't want, for example, to put the pictures in the business plan and the text, and so everything that has a connection to the business plan, but you just don't want to enlarge the main text, you put them in the appendix field. Now, this is pretty much about the structure of the business plan. If you have any questions right now, can you please check, Elena? If no, we can go ahead.
Yes, I have already checked once, but it was a couple of minutes ago. Let me go through all the windows one more time. There are no comments at the moment. I hope everything is clear. And I have also enjoyed the presentation, so let's move on.
Okay, great. So if nobody has a questions, you can always send the questions to us via email. And I want to pay one more time attention on the structure of the business plan. So though it has so many points, it's important for you to make it really clear and, so to say, not add any extra words or sentences that make it like a water-based business plan. It should be structured and it should be content-based. And we go ahead now. Now I'm going to give you a couple of tips regarding the business planning because I found it's really important. They might seem a little bit obvious. However, when starting writing a business plan and keeping in mind that I'm writing that for the investor, people are forgetting about those simple things that actually bring them to the success in the business plan reading by the third parties. So one of them is keep it short. So as I said about the executive summary, the same I'm gonna say about the whole business plan. Keep it short. Keep it to the point, and keep it right on the important facts, because the more questions you're going to create after people are reading your business plan, the more interest you're going to create, the better for you, because people tend to reply to all the questions and cover all the points of the information in the business plan. I think it should be full information. However, this information needs to push the potential investor for some questions, which can help him to get involved more and get back to you and ask for more information. Then know your audience. So obviously your business plan, the whole document you're going to write is your communication, way of communication, and your elevator pitch, so to say, to the people you're writing, to the people you're going to read it. So keep in mind the people, keep in mind on, think on what they want to see there, and try to arrange the structure of your business plan as much as possible to the way what they want to see, in order to create the communication between you and those people, and in order to bring their attention to your business plan, and be able to go ahead and have some open questions from their side as well. And don't be intimidated. So if you are good at something, make sure you show it. This is something that also eye-catching. That is something that is that brings attention. And if you're proud of something you you need to tell about that, because that might be something that will help you to win the situation and to win the attention of the investor. As I'm here talking about the investor and the financing of your business is one of the also important points, and I think this is something that you need to have some specific skills that you can learn, some specific information that you can use, and based on the experience that I have and based on the knowledge that they're willing to share, we're going to have a webinar specifically for the investment. We're going to communicate that as usual through the social media, and we're also going to give that in one of our sessions, more information regarding that. There, we're going to share with you the main tips and tricks of the investment and financing your products. It's going to be a closed webinar, and we're going to have the groups of up to 8 people in a group. If you would be interested, just follow, be with us, and if you are signed up to our news list, you will obviously get the information. And we move on. So, what you have accomplished today and what have you learned today? So today you have learned about the smart planning, and you have viewed different examples thanks to Elena about the smart planning and how to set up the goals, how to write the goals, and how to make sure that these goals are applicable to you as a person who is setting them to yourself. We had a look on what is the business planning and how to deal with the business plan. Also, we try to figure out, is it analysis or it's a description or it's a statement. So everybody takes it to his own, but I think it's the combination of all three: statement, analysis, and description of your idea. And we also had a look at the key elements of the business planning. And among the key elements was the executive summary, the company overview, the products and services, the target market, market analysis, sales and marketing strategy or planning, your metrics of measuring success, management team, financial plan, and also the section where you can get some additional information for the readers of your business plan. The resources we would highly recommend you to use as the skills2fund.eu. It's Power Your Idea blog. It's also the entrepreneur.com magazine, which is absolutely fantastic. And we recommend you to visit the article for the business plan. You can see the link here, as well as we want to send it out to you. About sending out, if you signed up on our website to the newsletter, you are receiving communications once in a while from us, and you're getting free handouts for each session, obviously, getting the webinar replay, and also get additional information. So if you haven't signed up yet, we highly recommend you to do so, because that's a valuable resource for you, and you keep in touch with us and also get all the updates in first place, obviously. So as we said, these interactive sessions, and you are having the advantage of creating the sessions. Let us know what you would like to hear next time. Send us an email. So you can write that in the chat, you can write that on the Facebook page or on the Google Plus page, or get in touch with us directly. So we're going to revise what you have as an idea for the next webinar, and we're going to try to implement it. Join our Facebook group and make sure to get all updates through the social media, get webinar replay links, and take part in our discussions. And the Facebook group is www.facebook.com/startupbooster2015. We also encourage you to share the webinar replay with the people who might be interested, maybe your friends, maybe like-minded people, colleagues, and think on joining the crowd of people who are entrepreneurs by heart. For the next session, which will be on the March 14th, we're going to talk about marketing the products and services for your startup. We're going to review several fantastic ways on that, and in the coming sessions, we're going to have a surprise for you, the very interesting interview with the person who is working and, along with being a normal working person in the office, having his own businesses as well. So I find this person really inspiring. He's calling himself the working entrepreneur, and the concept is really fantastic, which means that you can make and create your own business just being concentrated on your startup, as well as working in the office and being an entrepreneur as well. So I hope it's going to come in the next sessions, and that's fantastically inspiring and really interesting person. So I encourage you to keep an eye on the webinars, and we'll see you next Saturday. Have a nice evening and a great weekend. Bye-bye.